Kia ora. And welcome. Welcome to this post. Welcome back to you people that subscribe, and to my viewers. Thank you very much for watching. So this is what I do to kill some time sometimes. So some of you might know I play under the name Lethal Elite 1, and that's my handle, that's my gaming name. And this is a game that I play because it's 10-minute games, and this is my hangar. So if we go through them, this is a siren, this is a Mercury, this is a hover, this is a corrupted Fafnir, and this is a Katsumi Happy. And in the back there, you can see it, this is my Titan. So I'll give you a tour through the hangar. This is my siren, and this is the pilot, and this is a drone. It's a little drone thing that follows it around in battle. This is its special feature. So we can bring up a whole description of it. So if you can read that. An experimental development by DSC engineers, this robot is vulnerable on the ground but extremely dangerous in the air. It can soar into the air and hover and then teleport back to the ground if required. The robot can also create a blizzard that freezes all enemies caught in it. Ability: Siren sets up a translocator, makes a jet jump and hovers in the air. Activating the ability again teleports the robot back to the translocator. While in the air, the robot can launch a powerful rocket that creates a zone upon impact that damages enemies and applies the freeze effect to them. Cooldown is 18 seconds, built-in weapon range 600 meters, zone radius 120 meters. Reflector: for the duration of the ability, the robot gains protection that partially blocks received damage and redirects it to the one dealing it. The reflector doesn't fully protect the robot, but it can't be cancelled by enemy actions or abilities. Damage blocked 80%, damage reflected 40%. Recommended equipment, which means weapons: 2 helis and 1 snare. So this is a free game, you can download it. I've been playing it for nearly a year now, so all of my robots are advanced. I'll show you the gaming to it later. So this is the pilot, Yang Li. These are his abilities. So when he pilots the siren, and this is only with the siren and Harpy shots ignore enemy shields while the ability is active. So, and then Adamant Gunsmith: if the enemy team controls 3 or more beacons, siren deals increased weapon damage. Radar Mechanic: siren after capturing a beacon, siren repairs a portion of its maximum durability. Mechanic siren repairs a portion of its maximum durability each second. Destroyer siren deals increased ability damage. These abilities here are only for the siren. This one here is the siren and the harpy, and I'll show you the harpy next, but it's the Katsumi harpy. This one here. The actual harpy is in the vault, and the vault holds a lot of other robots. So this is the drone, and this is the abilities of the drone. Do you want to fly? Do you want an affordable yet stylish drone with considerable power meet fly? On module use damage after an active module is used increases the robot damage output for 7 seconds. So that's what that particular drone does. These are the weapons. So this is Mark III weaponry. That's as much as it can be amped up. So that's 30,059 damage over a 600 meter distance, and it takes 5 seconds to reload. You can't understand this by looking at it at first. You have to read it in detail. So damage 30,059, range 600 meters, reload time 5 seconds. Heavy weapon, a heavy energy weapon that hits enemies with a powerful electric charge, deals great damage in a matter of seconds and reloads quickly, shows its best at medium range. Energy shooting with energy shells, target lock on, takes time to capture the target, volley rapidly shoots all ammo, magazine weapon shoots all ammunition and then reloads. So we've got 2 maxed out Zeuses, that's what they're called, Zeus. That's the name of the gun, the weapon there. It's a Mark III Zeus. So the siren is packing 2 maxed out Zeus and 1 maxed out Ardent Sting. So we've got a dot effect, which means it will still continue to damage the target after it's fired upon it. And this is the maximum damage, 2,155 damage and 600 meters, and it takes 3 seconds to load. So there, effect chance 100%. I don't quite know what that means. Damage 2,155, range 600 meters. Effect duration 5 seconds, so that's the dot effect. And reload time 3 seconds, and damage over time 176 a second. So effect duration 5 seconds, almost 800 damage. And that does get you killed sometimes, because you can deplete an enemy robot right down to its last bar and hide behind a wall or cover, and the robot will die and you'll be credited the kill. So limited edition weapon, light and accurate kinetic machine gun or medium range, shoots all the ammo in one burst and quickly recharges every round, deals damage over time after hitting a target. So limited edition, base damage increased by 5%, because there's a gun, a weapon, and it's just called the Sting. You'll see it later. And this is an Ardent Sting, so it's a limited edition, specially designed gun, and it carries 5% extra damage. Shooting all kinetic shells, it shoots a kinetic shell, and it's a manual direct fire, so it doesn't lock onto your target. It hasn't got a lock on mechanism, and it rapidly shoots all the ammo. So that's what we've selected for the siren. There's things that you can't see also. That's what the robot looks like fully mounted. That's the full frontal view. You can circle it around. This is its jump booster, so that's what propels it into the air. A translocator beacon. It leaves a imprint on the ground where it jumps from, and then that's the exact position it'll return to. So that's the full round overview profile of the Mark III Zeus's and the Mark III Ardent Sting attached to the Siren. Now the Siren is only a level 9. It's not Mark 1, it's not Mark 2, and it certainly isn't maxed out to its full capabilities. What you can't see is modules. So we have a cloaking unit, a cloaking device. We'll go through it. So ability duration is 2 seconds. If the robot loses 10% of its durability over 3 seconds, the module activates temporary stealth, preventing enemies from being able to lock onto you. One module activates once per battle. The number of activations depends on the number of modules equipped. One-time effect, module activates once per battle. Independent effect, the number of activation depends on the number of modules equipped. Affects your robot and your robot only. Affects only your robot. So we've got a cloaking unit. We've got 2 overdrive units. So this increases the power output by 10%. Additional damage 10% while the robot's durability is at a critical level. All weapons have increased damage. If the robot has several such modules equipped, their damage bonuses are combined and the critical durability threshold is increased. So with 2 overdrive units, we're running a 20% additional damage on our weaponry. So that's 2 Mark III Zeus's and 1 Mark III Ardent Sting, running at 20% extra damage because I'm running a module. And you can only run 3 modules on level 9, so you'll find that most of my robots, or most of my most dependable robots, are level 9 because I can run 3 units, but it is obviously the intention to max them all out. But in saying that, you might not enjoy your games as much if you go all out and max all of your top bots out, because the computer will put you with a team or opposition that is equal to your bot and abilities. So if you want to be a rich boy out there with all the big bots and all the big modules, you got a lot of competition out there with maxed out bots, and they just destroy. I mean, it's unreal. Affects only your robot. Activates when getting damage. Effect is active all the time. So unlike the cloaking unit, these units are active all the time. So we've got different modules. This is extra plating, armor plating. We have 7 of those in stock, and you can upgrade them. So this is anti-control. You have to understand this one. Automatically removes lockdown and suppression effects and provides temporary protection against them. Reloads after activation. The more modules, the shorter the reload time. 3 max modules provide permanent protection against lockdown and suppression effects. Base cooldown 50 seconds. So if you've got 3 of these maxed out, you can't automatically lock down, because there are suppression effects built into some of the robots. They have their own built-in weapons. This Siren doesn't have any built-in weapons, but it does have the jump ability and the translocator ability. So this is a sister robot to a sister robot because they're twins. So I'll introduce you to the Kitsumi Harpy. This is not the traditional regular Harpy, it's a special edition Harpy. It is running a maxed out Zeus, which is too heavy. Oh, so the Siren is running 2 heavy weapon slots. That's the biggest guns you can get on these type robots. The Titans have bigger guns, and they have bigger modules, and they have bigger everything. And you are the pilot of the Titan. I am the pilot of my Titan. So yeah, this has got 2 heavy gun slots and 1 light weaponry slot. And the Kitsumi Harpy has 1 heavy. Here's where you find out. Heavy and 2 medium. So we have 2 ions, which are medium distance, medium powerful guns, and 1 maxed out Zeus. So these are the twins. These are the twins, and ideally you want them piloting both the Siren and the Harpy. But in saying that, the pilot that I've got in the Siren is powerful. Is a powerful pilot for this robot. So I have a Kitsumi Harpy and I have the twins. So running this, so they've got 3 Siren and Harpy. Activate stealth upon landing and restore durability when they return to a translocator beacon. 8% armor. Expert Harpy. Harpy has increased durability 15%. Dodger Harpy. All active modules on Harpy recharge faster 31.25%. And that's only on the Harpy and the Kitsumi Harpy. If I try and pilot these pilots with any other bot, that'll render these functions unusable. But these other types of, because here we have the ranks. So we've got private, corporal, sergeant, lieutenant, captain, major, and colonel. I've only got 1 colonel, and these girls are majors. And yeah, so there's stories that come with them. Warning: the materials below are classified by order of the control committee. If you have access to this file, stop viewing it and contact the control committee immediately. XC-1717 subject file. Description: subject group XC-1717 is 2 twin sisters referred to as XC-17171 and XC-17172 respectively. Subject to group XC-1717 was injected with the modified XC2 series serum developed by Data Expunged as part of the Data Expunged project. The 2 genetically identical human twin sisters were used in this sample to avoid repeating the mistake committed with subject XC-1716 that resulted in the death of the subject when XC-1716 data expunged during the experiment redacted human personal and serious damage to the training module. So you can go through the whole story of it, but they won't have they give you little bits and pieces of the story, so you'll read that much when they're private. When you promote them to corporal, you'll get that much. When you promote them again, you'll get that much. And when you promote them, make them majors, you'll get that much information on them. So this is the Kitsumi Harpy. It's a limited special edition. It's not the original design. So limited edition robot, 10% more durability, Corporation DSC, so that's the manufacturer. An experimental experimental development by DSC engineers. This robot is vulnerable on the ground but extremely dangerous in the air. It can soar into the air and hover and then teleport back to the ground if required. This robot can also create a firestorm that incinerates all enemies caught in, and it's quite a useful ability, that one. So Firestorm Harpy sets up a translocator, makes a jump and hovers in the air, activating it. The ability again transports the robot back to the translocator. While in the air, the robot can launch a powerful rocket that creates a zone upon impact that damages enemies and applies the blast effect to them. That is it's a more understandable, more visual ability that this robot has. So you get to really understand its destructive power when you apply the power. So you don't drive a robot, you pilot a robot. Just get that right from the start. So this is my kernel, and she is my favorite. I like her armor. I like the way she looks at me when I'm looking at her. A lot of the other pilots, they've got reactions and facial expressions, and yeah. So we'll go through it. We'll go through the pilot list with our colonel, and she can introduce you to them through her change. But as you can see, she's all purple. So she's maxed out. She's on a maxed out hover. The only thing that aren't maxed out are her weapons, but we'll get to that. And yeah, so she always thirsted for knowledge. Hover is a DSC, another DSC robot. Access to knowledge is only granted to those working in the control committee. Usually you needed contracts to get there, but after establishing herself as a patriot, passing many checks, and giving up all of her friends, she got a job in that committee, and with it came access to a huge library. Now this is another thing why I really like her, because she studied, so here, and it came with access to a huge library with forbidden Earth literature that had been considered lost. She started to read everything. So she studied Earth, she studied humans, and she likes us. So she likes us, we like her. We'll go through the pilots. So we have our colonel here, and then we have our majors, and then we have the next rankings down respectively. This Misaki comes with a pet, but her robot is the Capri. It's a healing bot, and Rita Park, she was random. This girl Jill Summers, she pilots a Seraph. Maria Leclerc, she pilots Amanda. Rose Lynn, she pilots a Warrior Typhoon or a Typhoon. Her ability associates itself with both the Warrior Typhoon and the Typhoon. We'll get to the bots later. These are the pilots. Joanne Flynn, you see the expressions on their face, and she's not really looking at you, and neither is she, and yeah, so I really like the way she just stands level shouldered and looks at you, and she's kind of and then she's hiding behind her. So Manny's pretty good when it comes to his ability. It's suitable for all robots. It's not just one robot that is affected by his ability. So the robot, meaning any robot, receives a damage bonus. The robot also gets bonus damage for every 10% durability that it loses. So it starts off at 1.5%. So we got him piloting the Behemoth. The Behemoth is huge. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to do that. The Behemoth is a 4 heavy weaponry slot bot, but it is slow. Ivanka, she's looking over there. Tobias, we got him on a Warrior Typhoon. I hate to change him. I had him because he's been with me a while. Don't really like humanoids. It's my very first pilot, and we've kept him as a private for reasons. Adam Mallory, the Ghost. Didn't really want to run more than one pilot of the same character, but didn't matter. The Ivory Ravana is pretty cool. The Megalodon Orichi, that's pretty cool. The Orichi, the Crawl Orichi. M. Bridget, she's my Orichi squad captain. This guy's ability is associated to the Erebus. Built-in cannon missiles now deal damage 5,000, and that's significant. Erebus deals increased weapon damage, and that's significant. So, and the Erebus is real fun. Trixie Hope, she's just new to our squad, but her ability is associated to all robots too, thanks to Trixie's little assistant, which is this drone over here. The cooldown in repair unit and the advanced repair unit is reduced by 7 seconds. So we, in module selection range, you can choose a heal module at the bottom. So once your bot becomes level 5, you can select the standard module. So on this, we're running a quantum radar. There's a repair unit. That's the unit that Trixie's drone can increase. It takes 20 seconds, but she can drop the waiting time significantly by 7 seconds. So you can heal your bot in game, but you can do it again, but you've got to wait 20 seconds. With Trixie's drone, you only have to wait 13 seconds. And I'm telling you, when you're in battle, 7 seconds is a lot. Death Mask, I don't really use this one. It tells other people that you've targeted a specific bot. So if you're playing as a team, yeah, you'd use this module, but otherwise you wouldn't go with it because nobody's listening to anybody. And there's no real in-game talk, so it's not associated to any microphone. This is an advanced repair unit, so same amount of time, but it costs 40 power cells, and there's our power cells up here. This is platinum, this is silver, and this is gold. So it takes power cells in order to afford the ability on these modules. 40 power cells there and 20. So this is just a standard repair unit. Well, this one, 20. Quantum radar. So this, you may have heard me talk about the stealth ability on the Siren and the Harpy, the Katsumi Harpy. Well, with this quantum radar, you pay 20 power cells, and yes, that's 54,105 power cells. So there's a bit of credit there, but you want to build that up. You really do want to build that up. You don't buy it, you don't have to spend a lot of money on this game. Although you can, you don't have to. So the quantum radars, you got to choose. So early on with the beginner bots, you're going to use the repair units quite a lot. That's pretty much your standard go-to. You won't really have the power of the weapons to kill with a lot of quantum radars and shield breakers. There are other options to be able to activate the modules, but I've only ever... it was right in the beginning where I was using gold, but you really need to save your gold. There are other things to use your gold for. 20 power cells. It's not much, but you can get to the point where you've used up all your power cells. So I'm quite happy where that is. Don't go crazy on it. You got to moderate your use of it. So the phase shift. This is an interesting one. You gotta read this one. When activated, the robot temporarily becomes invulnerable and immune to all negative effects. It basically turns invisible for 3 seconds, but cannot deal damage or repair allies. So the weapons become useless. Everything else becomes useless on it, but it does, like, weapons just fire straight through. While the module is active, enemy shells fly through the robot. So there. Affects only your robot, but every robot above or on level 5 can access this module, which is a phase shifter. We've already selected our module for this bot, and we're going to stick with it. So the shield breaker. So you've got shields on some bots. Some of them are force fields, some of them are just straight up just extra armor. This particular module, for 20 power cells, it will allow you to shoot through energy shields, force fields, not actual armor plates and shields. So that's what that one does for 3 seconds. And we also have one more at the end, which is a jump unit. Now this is a standard jump unit, but it comes in handy when it activates jump ability on bots that don't actually have jump ability. You have bots that have jump ability, and the hover is one of them, but it's more of a glide. I like it. It's my favorite little bot, but I say that about all of them. And this is the hover bot. So it's running 2 Kitsumi Rasdals or Spirits. What are our weapon slots? Medium, yeah. So those are Rasdals, and they're made to fit the Kitsumi. So okay, we'll swap the weapons out, and I'll show you what the picture looks like when the Kitsumi Harpy has all of its default weapons on it. So it's supposed to look how it's supposed to look. So you've got a Rasdor, and then you've got a Spirit Rasdor. So there's the Rasdor there. That's what the Rasdor looks like. And that's what the Spirit Rasdor looks like. So you can see now that it's beginning to come together, and the color coordination is looking like it's supposed to. We've got a Spirit Smooter, which is the heavy weapon. So these are the different selections of heavy weapons that I've got available to my use. The Dread Incinerator, the Cruel Bane, that's a special edition. The Composite Calamity, that's a special edition. So I've got 4 of those. The Ardent Viper is a special edition. And here we are with the Spirit Smooter. So this is what the Kitsumi Harpy looks like, all decked out, fully clothed in its uniform. Why I've selected the Zeus is because these are only 500 meters, and the Zeus is 600 meters, and so are the Ions. And this does tend to be a notable menace on the battlefield. So if it's up in the air and it's maxed out and it's doing a lot of damage, 3 or 4 robots will turn on it and intentionally look to take it out. So yeah, it's a matter. Sometimes it's a matter of big tree, small axe, and cut it down like a little bit at a time. And you'll see when you get into gameplay of how much of a limited time you've got in the air and to make your strike. So you can't stay up in the air always. And if you let it fade out of its ability, it'll just drift, it'll just float. Excuse me. It'll just float down out of the air like a feather. And that's when it's one of its most vulnerable moments. So that looks impressive, the consuming harpy, and you've got to win these. You can buy them, but like I say, you can spend a lot of money on this and you don't have to. So we'll change that back to the setup because hopefully we'll get to some gameplay. So we go through the selection. You don't have to read them fast. Like, there's another spirit smooter there. Got 2 of them. This is a new weapon that's come out. It's only recent. Sinister Talon. And there's just a normal standard incinerator. There's a normal standard smooter. There's another smooter and another. Oh, that's actually 4 of them. Got 4 smooters. Hammer. Another hammer. This is a devastator. Look at that. 1400 damage, but only 200 meters distance. So you got to be careful with some. It's very lethal and damaging, but you've got to be 200 meters before it even affects them. And it's just basically a huge speaker. Hornet. This is a good weapon, but 600 meters. But the thing is, it takes 12 seconds to load, and it feels like an eternity. The heli was one of the first heavy weaponries that came out when I started playing, and I really liked it because it was 600 meters and it slowed the enemy down, and it got many kills. So that was pretty good. This is just the standard Calamity, not the composite Calamity, and that's what it looks like. This is an Ember, and it's 350 meters, and it does, if you're up against, like I was talking about before, energy shields, this gun, this particular weapon will smoke anything that's got a physical shield. It'll just burn it all up, all the wirings inside it, it'll just incinerate it. So that's an Ember. We've got 4 of those. This is a Dragoon, 600 meters, 4,923. But again, 12 seconds to reload. That's a long time. We've got a Flux, 3,950 damage, over 1,100 meters. 11 seconds to reload. So it is quite cool, and we've got 4 of them, and it'll fit the Behemoth, but we really run another weapon which is exactly not exactly the same, but it's more powerful. It's more used than the Flux. I don't really use this. Probably you can sell them. You can just click on the bin, and I'll get 41,000 silver for it. So we'll sell that. Because a lot of them become redundant, and you gotta maintain your Weapon selection, and you got to think about how many of them you need and how many you don't need, because you can use silver for things, or actually you need silver for things. So here's our Mark III Zeus. This thing here is just a redundant force field. It doesn't actually even work. So we've got three of our Mark III Zeuses in effect on the battlefield. We just got to change these spirit Rasdals back to. So that's a Sinister Cryo, 300 meters. A Havoc, 200 meters. Freedom Igniter, 350 meters. Just the baby or the middle brother versions of the heavy weapons. Scorcher is a mini incinerator. Rasdor, no, what are we looking for? The irons. So mace, medium guns, a fainter, that's a different one. It's got a lockdown mechanism on it. That's a suppression ability. So if you got the right module, that particular ability with that gun or any other gun with a lockdown suppression ability will not be effective. This gun, 800 meters at level 10. These are their levels, 6, 10. They're not just the number of where they come on the list. That's how powerful they are. So those are the exact same weapons, but that's a level 10 and that's a level 9. And this will ignore enemy shields, because over that distance it fires a projectile that fast that'll just ignore the energy shield. So we've got 3 of them. This is a level 1, this is a level 9, this is a level 10, and it costs silver and gold to increase them from 9 to 10, or you can get a one-off, one-time Mac out token. And again, that costs money. I don't know any other way how to get them at the moment, because they only just new. They just changed the whole format of how to upgrade your weapons and bots. Titans don't take gold or silver. Titans can only be upgraded in their modules and weapons with platinum. And you can win daily platinum, and you can slowly chip away at it and increase the amount of platinum you've got to upgrade your Titans. And it is a good way to do it. I'm not going to try and put you off from doing that method, because again, you can spend a little bit of money on this game, or you can spend a lot of money. So this is the medium friend to the composite, or just the normal calamity. I've got 2 of these at level 7, and I have 2 at level 6. So I'm slowly increasing the power of the weapons. But like I say, you don't really want to be in too much of a hurry to increase your weaponry, because you're just going to find yourself in a pool think tank of bot blasters that have been in the game for years, and they'll just smoke you, man. So we've got 4 Coronas. Lockdown effect, 6,000 at level 5, so that's pretty good. 500 meters, and there are robots that'll take 4 guns, 4 medium weapon slots. This is a shock train. I like the damage on this one, and I'm happy with this gun all round, really, but I really wanted 4 of them, because there are bots. So we're equipping our Kitsumi Happy with our ions again. The ions, these Terrans are quite awesome. We'll come back to it again another time. So this is the weapons design that we're running. I find this setup effective. So we're going to go back and we're going to grab the spirit resonors. So why I run the spirit resonors on the hoverbot is because we need something in our team to cut the angles down, and these guns fire what I call banana bullets. So they will bend and they'll hit around corners, but it's not enough. It's not enough to be able to so you've got the bullets fired from these guns, and the smaller one, the Cremola, will fire and hit an enemy bot there, facing straight ahead, or hit a bot there. Anywhere between there and here, these bullets will hit. But standing at a flat trajectory, it only has that peripheral. But on this bot, because it can hover, it takes the robot up to a height where the radius of damage is more effective vertically and horizontally. So that's the way I've got it worked out for that. So we have the corrupted Fenrir, pulsar, a detail, medium range energy autocannon that with a special feature that immobilizes the target after a certain number of hits. The bot itself, this is a special edition, limited edition robot, 10% more durability. Evo Life is the creator of this bot. Flying Dragons, this particular robot is able to stay in the air for as long as it wants, using the same principle as the shapeshifters while on the ground. Fafnir diverts its power into increased defense and activates an inbuilt weapon capable of dealing devastating damage to Titans while it is in the air. It's just basically it's a gun with unlimited ammo. Ability shapeshift, the robot can freely switch between walking and flying, staying in any mode for as long as you need. While on the ground, gets increased defense and 4 weapon slots in the air. The robot disables 2 of its weapon slots to enable a built-in weapon that deals increased damage to Titans. It also activates an absorber shield for several seconds when it starts to take off. Absorber, an impenetrable shield that can absorb an unlimited amount of damage. And now that's that force field shield I'm talking about. And with the right module, a quantum radar or shield breaker, that shield is rendered ineffective. So here's where you choose your drone. This is called a barrel. It actually shoots at the enemy, and they've got different function. That one shoots at the enemy. So does this one, which is a little wasp drone that flies around beside you. This one is just a standard, but it's still a good drone. This one is a drone called the Eye, and this one shoots at the enemy and adds additional damage. So that's a pretty good one. You've got drones called the Armadillo. Yeah. This Mercury was the first bot that I built in the workshop. It's from Yandy. Yandy is the corporation that built it. A mobile robot created for sudden attacks. Its average durability is outweighed by its ability. Mercury suppresses enemy targeting systems, rockets up into the air and drops down on enemies like a meteor. Ability Hell Dive, that description is. Hell Dive, they call it the Hell Dive. Robot activates stealth and then jumps. He can interrupt flight at any time and dash towards the ground, dealing damage to all enemies around the landing point. Stealth is activated during flight and 5 seconds after landing, and that's huge, that's heaps. There are bots, of course, if you've got the right quantum radar, or you've got the these other abilities. Well, they're all radars, or they're all quantums, that will allow them to be able to still fire upon your bot, whether regardless you've got stealth built-in ability, or you've activated a module by paying the required amount of power cells. So these are recommended. Cooldown period is 18 seconds. It's basically a reload time. Because your bot's ability, you've used your bot's ability, the hydraulic fluid, the compressed gases, the whole ensemble of what it takes to have your bot performance ability. It takes 18 seconds for the compressed air to be filled up in the chambers, the hydraulics to engage with spring mechanisms again, for the spring mechanisms to retract, and 18 seconds. So thinking about it, and all that going on in your bot, 18 seconds isn't too long a time, but it is vulnerable for that 18 seconds. So you gotta be doing something while your bot's cooling down. The recommended equipment, which is the guns they're talking about, is 1 heavy weaponry. They suggest an Ember and 2 Blaze, or 1 Glory and 2 Gust. And I'm running a Dread Incinerator and 2 Skulls, I think they called it. Yeah, Skulls. Here's the name of the weapon here. So this is a Dread Incinerator at level 8. And these are 2 Skulls running at level 7 with an eye. So on to the big boy, the Titan. This is an Ox Minnows. Limited edition, 10% more durability, and it's the first Titan of Icarus. So Icarus Technologies is the creator of this bot, and it's huge, it's a beast. It's about 4, maybe 5 stories high, and it's the boss. I think it's the boss of all the Titans. I've gone on a journey of what I think is the best Titan out there, but with the right sensors and modules, I don't think there's any other Titan out there that can match it. Of course, it gets its backside babooted all the time, but sometimes it's just a critical component of the winning team, and it just smashes. So enough about that, and we'll read what it says. Incorporating the corporation's best technologies, it has increased mobility and a powerful protection system. Reflector Minnows can accelerate to high speed, scattering opponents in its path and damaging them along the way. Abilities: Charge. The Titan accelerates and activates a destructive magnetic field around itself. Enemies that get in the way are damaged and knocked back. Cooldown 15 seconds. Affected radius 100 meters. Reflector. For the duration of the ability, the Titan gains protection that partially blocks received damage and redirects it to the one dealing it. Reflector doesn't fully protect the Titan, but it can't be mitigated. So that just means that there's no module out there that can take away the effect of that particular ability. And there's a lot of bots, even minor bots, not big bots, that have got that ability. The reflector ability is one to well, take refuge in, because a lot of the times, or sometimes, you're waiting for your guns to reload, you've used your bot's abilities, and you're waiting for it to cool down, and you're basically just stuck out in the middle of the field, and you've got 3-4 enemies firing in on your position, and all you've got is this orb. And the more they're firing at you, the more they're dealing damage to themselves, and it has actually and does take out the enemy, even myself included. So it's a real handy ability on some of the bots. The bots that you choose are up to you. And this is the upgrade token. I don't have any, but if you have any of those, or if I have any of these, it'll upgrade the bot or the weapon to max straight away. One of those will take the cost of maybe 200 million silver more, and about 30,000 gold. And it takes a long time to get gold, but it's fun. So this is the Titan boss beast, known as the Ox Minnow. I love looking at this thing, man. It's so impressive. Wait till we get it out onto the battlefield and you see. I hope it puts up a good performance for you to see the full advantage of its ability. So this is a crate, and we're running 3, and these are the maxed out crates. In order to upgrade, see this little missing part of the bar here? It's how far we've got to go to max out this Titan. So it's at level 90 now. And in order to upgrade it, hit points an extra 3%, it'll take 63 platinum. It goes from do-si-do, so it goes green line. The next time I click on upgrade 63 platinum, it'll give me an extra 3 plus 3 defense points. And then that ability will switch up to there, and the next time I click on this upgrade, it'll give me that much. And then switch down and so forth and so on, alternating between the two. So it's the same with there. The 1% is directed to the reflector block damage. It'll cost me 88 platinum to get that little much of a green block, 1%, and then it'll go down to the reflector return damage, and it'll cost me another 88 platinum in order to do it. It doesn't work simultaneously on both lines. It's the same down here, the speed, another 0.5 faster kilometer, and charge damage, which is another significant one. And modules. So we have 2 maxed out onslaught reactors, which is an assault reactor, an additional 20% to Titan's damage, additional damage, Titan's damage is 20%, and additional damage is 15%. Significantly increases the damage of equipped and built-in weapons and the damage dealt to Titans. So we can use the onslaught reactors for any of the Titans. We're running 2 maxed out onslaught reactors, 1 maxed out self-fixed unit defense module, and constantly restores the Titan's durability. So it's always active, it's just pumping up and down. You can see it by a green glaze that runs up and down the bot. And this is a quantum sensor, which is really, really handy because you've got a lot of bots out there with built-in stealth mechanisms, stealth abilities, and they do not work with this bad boy in your Titan. Up to 300 meters radius, it's anything in the air that's running the stealth ability. There's anything on the ground running a stealth ability. Scorpions get smashed. Orichis get smashed. And the big Maritza, I think it's called, or something like that, Titan, that flies up into the air, and every time it flies up into the air, it activates a stealth, but with this quantum sensor, no. And we've got two of these. And we've got a grand balance reactor. Only level 18, only level 1, only level 1, grand balance reactor. We've got a cannibal reactor, there's two of these. Level 14, this. We can sell this. I actually found that sometimes it's pays to keep them. We've got damage control, 1%. I mean, you can do some of the research yourself. We've got another onslaught reactor there. And that's what we're running. So, sorry. So yeah, if you notice what happened there, when you unequip them, it'll tell you, it'll highlight you there, cautioning you, you're actually running without a module. Do you really want to go to battle without a module? And of course the answer to that is no. So, what else do I have to go through? So, the Titans, changed Titan. We have a Heimdall. We can go on and on for ages and ages. But, multifunctional Titan produced by Evo Life, depending on the mode, it can either repair allies or increase their damage. After destruction, the Titan launches micro bots that restore great damage to allies. It's got a huge story on what its abilities are. So Titans, they run alpha weapons and beta weapons. Both the Oxmano and the Heimdall run beta weapons only. But they have so many other abilities that you just gotta weigh up. This is the Kraken Indra. So this one is the 10% more durability limited edition Titan. It looks kind of weird, but it's got some awesome abilities. And these guns came out with them. These are new, and that is a Kraken buggerer, and that's just a buggerer. So this is what the Kraken looks like, and that's what the buggerer looks like. And there's different weapons. This is another gun beta weapon, another same beta weapon, but that's level 8, that's level 2. This is a scavenger lantern, 600 meters. It's a real menace on the battlefield because it blinds you. A squall, a lunar squall, which is pretty good on the Oxmano. The Pantagruel is a very helpful weapon. 4 of them would be even more helpful. Maxed out. The Cinder is quite a dangerous weapon to come up against. Kirsten is pretty cool in the crate. The Oolong Cinder, 2 of those, and those go with the Baihu Luchador, which we will look at now. So this is the Baihu Luchador, which is a limited edition special 10% extra durability. And those are not the guns for it, but they look pretty cool on it. But these are, and they are beta weapons, and we've still got to modify them up to 25%, level 25 maximum damage.